This is the fifth and final day of the Top 5 Passive Income Ideas mini-series. This series has spanned the entire week with a daily video focused in detail on each item of my list. Today's video is all about making passive income from high-interest savings accounts and dividends earned from ETFs. Hello and welcome to the Stephen Carlson Show. I'm Stephen Carlson. I'm a tech entrepreneur, real estate investor, author, YouTuber, and a volunteer paramedic. We are now at the end of the mini-series and I've shared with you 5 great ideas how to make extra money every single day of the month. If you have missed any of the videos this week, make sure you check out the playlist I created for this mini-series. The link is in the description. The fifth item on the list may surprise you a little bit, but investing in stocks, ETFs, REITs, and high-interest savings accounts can make you additional passive income every month. Of course, this does take a little bit of initial investment capital before you can invest, but honestly, you can start a high-interest savings account for as little as $250, and when you begin your stock investments, you can open an account with Webull for as little as $100. One great thing about Webull is just for opening your account and depositing $100 on their platform, they will give you 2 free stocks, with one of those stocks being valued up to $1,400 to start your investment journey. Now, before the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what stocks and ETFs I personally invest in. One of these tips is an ETF that I purchased last month, and I've already made a 17% return on. You ready to get started? All right, great. The very first thing we should tackle together is you need to set up your high interest savings account to then use this as your emergency cash fund. Many banks offer high interest or high yield savings accounts. I use Capital One's 360 as they, well, at least at the time that I opened my account last year, they had the best interest rate available, and they were very easy to open the account. Now, as we've discussed before, keeping an emergency fund cash on hand is vitally important to long-term financial security. This strategy helps you weather the unexpected events in life without having to resort to high interest rate credit cards. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much you should have saved in your emergency fund. The best advice I can give you, and remember, I am just some dude on the internet, I am not a certified financial planner. But the best advice I can give you is to have a minimum of 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved in this emergency fund. Now, in my case, I've gone a little above that. When I opened my Capital One 360 account, I transferred $35,000 from my regular and incredibly low interest rate savings account at Wells Fargo, and then I set up automatic deposits of $25 per week continuously to go into this account. I've also made a few extra random deposits here and there whenever I had some extra cash laying around. In the past year, I've made just about $400 in interest with Capital One. Now, of course, $400 is not going to make you rich, but it's free money that slowly grows and builds upon itself. Each month, I get a little bit more interest than the previous month because of compounding effects. Now, just for comparative sake, if I had left my money in that horrible 0.01% APY that Wells Fargo was giving me, I would have made about $3.50 last year. That sucks. And this is why a high interest savings is so much better. While the $400 is great, the real benefit comes in when something unexpected happens and you need to spend $1,500 to fix something around the house, or some unplanned expense comes up. You have the immediate access to cash and you don't have to resort to credit cards with high interest rates of 15 to 30%. Or kind of looking at it another way, if I had to charge $1,500 on a credit card and took that same $25 per week that I'm currently putting into my savings account, if I took that $25 and applied it to the credit card, it would take me almost a year and a half to pay that $1,500 back, plus the $171.60 in interest. By not using my credit card for this expense, it saved me a lot of money. Now let's get back to the topic at hand, passive income. The beauty of putting your emergency fund into a high interest rate savings account is you get paid by the bank each month just to be smart with your financial planning. Now, like I said before, I signed up with Capital One 360, but honestly, multiple banks offer very similar programs, including American Express Savings Bank, Ally Bank, and others. Now, one thing to keep in mind, because the Federal Reserve has lowered the interest rate, the best that you can kind of find right now is like 1%, maybe 1.2% APY if you're really lucky. Key is to look around and choose one that's the most convenient for you. Also, and I highly recommend doing this, but also do it at a bank that's not your primary bank. Why, you might be asking? The reason is it helps to make sure that your savings remain saved and that you're not tempted to access these funds and spend them when you really shouldn't. Having them just one step away from your day-to-day online banking can really help things. Many banks allow you to start your account with as little as $100 to open. Once your account is open, make sure you set up automatic deposits on a weekly or bi-weekly basis of whatever you can afford. Even if it's just as little as $25 per week into your account. That would come out to about $1,300 per year. All right, now that we've gotten that taken care of, it's time for you to open your stock brokerage account. I will try to not sound like a broken record here. However, of course, I recommend using Webull. If you open your account today and deposit $100, they're going to give you 2 free stocks, with one of those being valued up to $1,400. Keep your 2 free stocks and then start investing while you build up your emergency savings fund. The emergency savings is going to be the most important and will, honestly, in the long run, be the most beneficial to you so that it keep you from having to spend money on high interest credit cards. Why don't you pause this video, go open a Webull account, and come back when you're ready. Don't worry, I'll wait. All right, come on. I know you didn't pause the video yet. Go on, pause it, go open your account, and come back. Did you open your account? Okay, let's get going. As I've promised you, here is the ETF that I have purchased and I've done very well on. In fact, when I was first writing this script, I had made over $1,000 just on this one stock alone. Then, of course, there was a market change that took place Wednesday afternoon and the value dropped a little bit. But honestly, that's great for you guys because now you have a chance to jump in and purchase the ETF as well. Now, of course, if you would have listened to me last month and would have purchased it then, you would have had an even better price. Long term, I have very high confidence that the next federal stimulus package will include infrastructure spending. Now, while this infrastructure spending will take some time to trickle down all those billions of dollars to the actual Main Street economy, you will see an almost immediate stock improvement for companies that specialize in infrastructure. All right, enough talking. Are you ready for the ETF that I purchased? I invested in the Global X Fund's U.S. Infrastructure Development ETF. Whew, that's a mouthful. Its ticker symbol is PAVE, P-A-V-E. And as I record this video Thursday afternoon, it's going to be released tomorrow. It's kind of anyone's guess what the market's going to do in the next 24 hours. But I think long term, this is going to be the perfect opportunity for PAVE and any other infrastructure stocks. There are also a few other ETFs that follow U.S. infrastructure, and you probably cannot go wrong with any of them. Now, before you choose any specific ETF, make sure you check out the expense ratios and make sure they're not stealing all of your profits. All right, now let's move on to the general dividend investing for passive income. I love the Vanguard Dividend Appreciation ETF. The stock ticker is VIG. This ETF, at least in my opinion, is the best ETF on the market for dividends. It's Vanguard's flagship equity income fund that commands nearly $50 billion in assets under management. This fund holds some of the 180 top dividend stocks in the United States, from consumer staples like Procter & Gamble to tech giants like Microsoft. According to Vanguard's website, VIG started operating in April of 2006 and has returned an average of 9% per year since its inception. Now, what stocks or ETFs have you invested in? Why don't you comment down below and let me know. Next week, we're going to return to the normal Monday and Thursday release video schedule, and I plan on making some mini-series similar to this in the future. Let me know what you guys think about it and if I should make any more mini-series or not. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you click like, subscribe, click all those things down below. Doing so really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.